The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes for January 30th, read by Jean Perkel. The action of spirit within itself. God, the self-existent first cause, speaks and it is done. His word is law. God is word. God is law. God is spirit. Spirit knows itself. The law is the servant of the spirit and is set in motion through its word. All law is some form of universal force or energy. Law does not know itself. Law knows only to do. It is the medium through which the spirit operates to fulfill its purpose. Did God make law? It is impossible to think of a time when law did not operate. It is impossible to conceive that it was never created. Therefore, law must be coexistence and co-eternal with spirit, a part of the causeless nature of the divine reality. The spirit operates through law, which is some part of its own nature. Therefore, all action must be some action of spirit as law. The word of spirit moves through the law, and since the law must be as timeless as the spirit, we would not think of a time when law was not, or a time when it would cease to be. Neither can we imagine the law ever failing to operate once it is set in motion. We have then an infinite spirit and an infinite law, intelligence and the way it works, God working through law, which is unfailing and certain, creation, the activity of God, the activity of spirit, the passing of substance into form through a law which is set in motion by the word of spirit. Spirit is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So our thought cannot picture a time when the activity of spirit will cease. The whole action of spirit must be within itself, upon the law, which is also within itself, and upon the universal stuff, which is also within itself. The three in reality are one, the Trinity. There is something called God that makes things out of itself, or itself. By becoming things, it makes according to law and order. As nearly as the intelligence of the human race is able to judge, spirit creates by contemplation. How we understand its operation. This philosophy of applied metaphysics rests upon two or three very simple theoretical propositions. All invisible principles are theoretical, in that we cannot appraise them with our physical senses. We cannot weigh and measure them. Life, love, and beauty may be considered theoretical, in that no one has ever seen them. We see only their manifestations, but because of such manifestations, we reason that the reality exists. Metaphysical work rests upon the theory that the universe is a thing of absolute intelligence, that this intelligence is self existence. Spirit was not created. It was, is, and ever will be. We are compelled to assume the actuality of original creative energy and intelligence, before which nothing comes. God and divine or universal life principle, or whatever we choose to call it, is an original, uncreated, changeless being, not a being of parts, but being with potentialities. There is a vast difference. A present interpretation of the universe, according to one learned physicist, is that of a infinite thinker thinking mathematically. The infinite thinker is a spontaneous thinker. The infinite thinker thinks, and what follows is a sequence of law and order, of cause and effect. This is the mathematics, or the mathematics. The infinite thinker is a movement, is principle. The being of the infinite thinker is pure spirit, and may be thought of, in a sense which we dimly comprehend, as an infinite or abstract essence of concrete personality, and the cause of all objective and subjective manifestation. To express this more simply, God thinks. As a result of God's thought, law is set in motion, or the thought moves as law in a field of cause and effect. Its, move, its movement is now mathematical. The only thing that is spontaneous is the creative thought itself, the contemplation of spirit.